Chapter 13. Although it was a bit chilly, it was still a lovely Saturday night. Everyone was out, couples held hands, children laughed with their parents, music flowed through the air, and I found happiness in the nightlife around me. I took my time in walking down the busy streets, occasionally stopping to admire the designer brand clothes on display, and remembering memories as I passed places which each had their own story to tell. Something I hadn't noted was that the entire time, I had a blissful smile on my face as I played with the heart-shaped diamond hanging on my necklace. I pressed the button to cross the road, and as I waited patiently, I noticed something glisten in the corner of my eye. I looked to my right and saw an object behind the display glass of a costume shop. Forgetting all about the traffic lights that have turned green and the cars waiting for me to cross, I walked towards the closed shop and brushed my fingertips against the glass. Masquerade masks, exactly like the ones Reese and the others wore the night they broke into the school. Chloe. I jumped a little when my name was called. I was just too much in thought. I turned around and couldn't help but have a massive smile plastered on my face as I saw Jake and Jaden waving at me. "Hey! How are you guys?" "Good," they both replied in sync. "Okay, is this like a twin thing? Do you two always talk in sync?" I laughed. "Not always," they replied together. I just gave them a blank stare. "So, what are you doing here?" Jaden asked me. Although the twins look extremely alike, well, of course they do, they're twins, I could tell the difference between them. Jake has a scar right above his eyebrow, definitely a best feature. Walking home, seeing as my ride has a date. I muttered sadly, I felt way too much like a loner. "Well, maybe because I am. Wanna hang out with us?" I looked up at them in surprise. Both guys were looking at me with their eyebrows raised, obviously waiting for an answer. "Oh, I couldn't," I replied with a sheepish smile. As much as I was dying to socially interact with Homo sapiens, I couldn't just intrude. "Oh, come on," Jake nudged me and wiggled his eyebrows, "you know you want to." "True. We're just gonna chill at Cyrus." As you can see, Jaden held up 2 takeaway plastic bags filled with calorie-packed burgers, making my mouth water. "We've got dinner for the boys. They're probably impatient by now, but whatever, they can wait," he shrugged. "So, what do you say?" Jake casually slung his arm around my neck. "Of course," she says. "Yes bro, she wants to join the dark side," he said in a dramatically dark voice. I laughed. "The dark side? How can I refuse?" I asked theatrically. As the 3 of us walked further down the road, I couldn't help but be interested in the twins' conversations. They were so different. Basically, Jake's the wild, dirty-minded one and Jaden's the calm, sensible one. "What's Cyrus?" I finally asked. "It's where we hang, chill, head off to when we wag classes and train." "Train? Well, not us, Reese does." I was still perplexed. "I'm not following you." Jaden's eyebrows furrowed in confusion. "Reese never told you." "Tell me what?" I snapped. "As you can see, I'm not a very patient child." "Whoa, chill," Jake commented. "Reese is a fighter." I abruptly stopped walking. "What?" "Yeah, he started out in late-night street fights, then a guy who was fully loaded money-wise," Jaden interjected. Asked him to fight in a couple championships at first, it was all just fun and games, but then he won every single round. Reese has never lost a match in his entire life, he's like invincible. Jaden finished with a laugh, but you could tell the admiration in his voice. Jake nodded in agreement. There's a lot of blood spilled in the boxing ring, none of it is Reese's. There's a grand finale boxing tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. If he wins some big cash. He's been training non-stop for it. By now we were at the stadium's entrance. I ran my fingers through my hair. Reese. A fighter? I just couldn't get my head around to it. The twins mentioned that there was a lot of money involved, but it just didn't make any sense to me. Why would Reese need money? Being a student at Prescott Private meant that your parents must be fully loaded, like Jaden quoted. Why would Reese fight for money? Suddenly my feet left the ground and I found myself being crushed into a massive bear hug. I hadn't even noticed we'd already entered Cyrus. I let out a cry of surprise. Little C. I haven't seen you for ages. I've missed you. I've missed you too, Valentino. Please let me go, I can't breathe. I managed to make out while he squeezed me tighter and spun me around. He let out a chuckle and I felt his chest vibrate before he gently put my feet back on the floor where they belonged. What is she doing here? I turned around and noticed Dennis standing there looking annoyed. My heart sunk a little in my chest. I mean, I know it's not possible for everyone to like you, but I've never actually had an encounter with someone that didn't. Great to see you too, Dennis. I smiled brightly. His cheeks turned the slightest bit pink and I smirked in satisfaction. Sorry Chloe, I didn't mean it like that. Dude, Valentino interrupted, what took you two so long? Can't you see I'm starving? Whatever Val, calm your tits mate. Here, Jake shucked a burger at Valentino's face, which he caught single-handedly with ease. Hopefully this will shut you up for a few minutes. I felt a tap on my shoulder. Have you had dinner yet? Jaden asked me. Yes. I lied. Oh, okay, just come sit with us then. Suddenly, the doors opened so loud the sound echoed through the room. I looked to the left so fast I thanked the Lord my neck didn't snap. I felt my eyes widen in shock. This whole time, it hadn't occurred to me that if Cyrus were the place where Reese trains, he would no doubt be here tonight. Have I ever mentioned how breathtaking he looks when he's half naked and sweaty from training? I unwillingly tore my eyes away in hope no one had noticed me checking him out. What is she doing here? Oh. Okay. Way to make me feel wanted, Reese. Jerk. I can totally feel the love tonight. I muttered. Beside me, Dennis laughed and I did my best to control myself from punching him in the face. Instead, I gave him my best death glare. He stopped immediately and gave me an apologizing look. I just narrowed my eyes. I was just hanging out with the coolest kids on the block, Jake finished. We saw her walking home alone, so we invited her here. That's not a problem, right, Reese? Reese's green eyes burned into mine. I didn't even have the guts to breathe. Whatever, he shrugged before turning around and walking off. Yo. Aren't you gonna eat? Valentino called out with his mouth full. Not hungry, he simply replied before letting the door shut behind him. I just sat there, confused as hell. What just happened? What had I done? Did he dislike me that much he couldn't even bear to sit with his friends and have dinner while I was there? He was fine a few hours ago when he put on my necklace. Oh. I gestured my thumb towards the door. Do you guys mind if I didn't bother finishing when I saw all of them shake their heads and tell me it's okay. I opened the door, walked in quietly, and took in the sight. There was a boxing ring in the middle of the area, then there were weights and other gym appliances. There was also a huge, black boxing bag where Reese was currently beating the shit out of it. Mind my French. His back was turned to me, his bare back, that is. His strong muscles were always tensed. His arms kept hitting the bag with so much force, it kept swinging. Those things looked so heavy though. Val, get out. The anger in his voice took me off guard. He still hadn't looked back, but he knew someone was in the room. He just didn't know it was me. Val, I'm serious, I can't be bothered with you or that little French nerd. My mouth was hanging open, but I refused to make a sound. I could really hit him right now. She's just so annoying and immature and clumsy, he continued while I thought of ways to kill him. Sometimes I catch her looking at me out her window, totally creepy. Did I mention she snuck into my room? Ouch. He turned around when I smacked his uncovered back, and for the first time I noticed his smirk. Bonjour, jerk. Hola, nerd. Honestly, I just wanted to wipe that sexy, irresistible smirk off his face by high-fiving him in the face with a brick. You knew I was behind you, didn't you? I suddenly realized. No shit. Who else's heels would make such an irritating sound when they walk? I stared at him with my jaw almost hitting the floor, then I mentally shook my head. Rude. Reese rolled his eyes. PFFT, Rude is my middle name. Really? I thought it was jerk. That too. He went back to punching the bag, with much less force than before. My eyes instinctively traveled down his dark, wet hair and his sharp jawline to his broad chest and across his abs. Stop checking me out. I'm not. I replied instantly and felt warmth spread across my cheeks before I looked away and focused on a garbage bin. You're cute when you blush, Chloe. Reese commented, looking extremely amused. My heart, on the other hand, was beating way too fast for my liking. Don't say stuff like that. I finally choked out. Oh? Why not? He teased. Just don't. Oh, I see, your boyfriend might not like it. What boyfriend? He turned around to face me again. Was your date that bad? What is this boy on about? What date? OHHH. That date. Were you lying about you having a date, Chloe? He asked as if I had done something very bad. I didn't lie about anything, Reese. You said you had a date. No. I said, maybe. I defended. So you didn't go on a date? Nope. And you don't have a boyfriend? My heart started thumping loudly again. Nope. I repeated. Good. Good. Good, he confirmed in a that's final tone. I tried my hardest to hold back a smile. If you were jealous, just say so. His head whipped up so fast I heard a crack. What? I said if you're. I heard what you said, stupid. I blinked in surprise. How rude. Don't call me stupid. Reese raised his eyebrow and smirked. Touchy are we, nerd, he commented while he put his shirt back on, much to my dismay. No, I just don't tolerate rude manners. Oh God, you sound like our headmaster, he said with disgust rolling off his tongue. I really want to punch you. Once again, amusement flashed across his eyes. Go ahead and punch me. What? I said. I heard what you said, stupid. Reese gave me a look, one that said, who's the rude-mannered one now, hypocrite. Again, Reese put on his girly voice, no. Princess just called me stupid. Oh, how rude. Shut up. Oh, Princess swore again. This time, I pulled my hand back into a fist and closed my eyes as I aimed at him. In less than 2 seconds I found my fist enveloped into Reese's hand, only centimeters away from his face. He cocked his head to the side, looking very intrigued. Chloe, why aim at my face? How could you even think about hurting a pretty face like mine? I didn't mean to aim at your face, I was going to hit you in the chest, I told him honestly. Besides, you told me to punch you. I replied as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. It doesn't matter. You're too weak anyway. Excuse me. I said you're. I heard what you said. I snapped. Then why do you keep acting like you didn't? He smirked. I ignored him, then turned around to walk away. I hadn't even made a step in the other direction before Reese grabbed my hand and spun me around towards his chest. Okay, fine, I'll stop teasing. Promise. His eyes narrowed. Yes. Now make a fist. You want me to punch you again? I don't even consider that girl a tap a punch. Now make a fist, he ordered. I did so and he shook his head in disappointment. What are you doing? That's not how you make a fist. That's how you break your knuckles. Geez, sorry, it's not like I'm a professional fighter or anything. Reese didn't say anything about my comment. I was going to ask him why he didn't tell me he fought, but something told me he didn't want to talk about it. Everyone knows you never put your thumb inside, you keep it out across these fingers like this. His fingers held mine as he positioned them correctly. I managed to keep steady and not be too affected by his touch, which was currently sending sparks. You want to hold your fist in a completely clasped position. You don't want to have it open with the thumb out, or you can break your thumb and you also lose stability in your fist. You also don't want to have it to the side like that. It is more powerful and stronger holding it like this. I nodded and looked at his hand, which was still holding onto mine. Not like I'd complain. Now try again. I gave him an uneasy look and he chuckled. Don't worry, you won't hurt me. I held my hand back and gave all my strength into that punch. Again, he caught my hand just in time. Not bad, he commented. I glared at him. That punch was perfect, and you know it. Maybe. Fine. Deny it. Okay, I will. Fine. Fine. I swear, his stupid, sexy smirk is nothing but trouble. After tearing my eyes away from his intense stare, I glanced at the clock and gasped. It's late. So, I have a curfew. I finished lamely. Sucks to be you. J.E. Yeah. I'm a jerk. You've made that quite clear already, Chloe. Just thought I should remind you every now and again. I smiled. He grabbed his sports bag and signaled me to follow him towards the back entrance. When I saw his motorbike, a part of me died. Are you serious? You know, any other girl would kill to be in your place. Riding on my baby with her arms around a sexy beast like me is like every girl's dream come true.